Shalom. All praises to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel, the true Hebrew Israelites, or the so-called Negro, so-called Hispanics, and so-called Native Americans. We found out we are the true Israelites of the Bible, as well as the Israelite foreigners, because you have Israelite foreigners that look like other nations, but because Israel laid with the heathen woman, and then the sons would be Israelites over time, or they would be, and then still over time. This is another video lesson on how Esau is the so-called white man with precepts. And I will start with the book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verse 7. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, which is the ancient Roman Empire, Rome, and strong exceedingly, and had great iron teeth. It devoured and brake in pieces, and stamped the residue with the feet of it. And it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. And Esau Edom, the so-called white man, was ruling ancient Rome, this fourth beast. And then Rome fell out of power. Jake took over in power. You had Nerva. And let me do this real fast. Second Ezra 11 and verse 1. And then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which is Rome, which had 12 feathered wings. Now, when you look at ancient Rome, these are 12. It's the 12 Caesars, 12 Roman Caesars, and it's literally, you can look it up. Who are the 12 Caesars in order? These are we read about in 2 Ezra 11. Julius Caesar, Augustus, Tiberius, Caligula, Claudius, Nero, Galba, Otho, Vitellius, Vespasian, Titus, and Domitian. So let's read this again. 2 Ezra 11 and 1. Then saw I a dream, and behold, there came up from the sea an eagle, which had 12 feathered wings, and 3 heads. And that's pretty much the point. It shows you ancient Rome in the scriptures. Same thing as the fourth beast in Daniel 7. And these were Edomites. You look at pictures, these are Edomites. You got Edomites that look like these people today. Because these were the Edomites of the time then. The eagle, the 12. Yeah, the eagle and the 12. So let's move back to Daniel 7. And read verse 7 again. After this I saw in the night visions, and behold, a fourth beast, dreadful and terrible, and strong exceedingly, and it had great iron teeth. And it's talking about kingdoms. You had different various empires. The Assyrian, Babylonian, Medo-Persian, Greece, Alexander the Greek, and Rome. Maybe I'll break it down after something. And just keep reading in the fourth. So you're the fourth beast, Rome, and stamped the residue with the feet of it, and it was diverse from all the beasts that were before it, and it had 10 horns. Verse 8, I considered the horns, and behold, there came up among them another little horn. This little horn is dealing with America. So Rome fell, and then Esau fell, ancient Rome, and then Esau came back into power. There's a little horn. And it's a different little horn than Daniel 8. Let's keep reading. So Esau fell out of power, and Esau back in power, before whom there were 3 of the first horns plucked up by the roots. These 3 are the Spanish, the French, and the British. A different 3 than 2nd Ezra 11. This is why you need to do your studying the GMS breakdowns. So this is American history that you can read about. You can look this up. And behold, in this horn were eyes like the eyes of man, and a mouth speaking great things. Now move to Revelation, the 20th chapter. In the first verse, and I saw an angel come down from the heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is Europe, and a great chain in his hand. Second Ezra chapter 5. Because the pit is a land. He's not talking about some underworld party where you got cartoon beings down there having a disco party in the underworld. No, the pit is talking about a land on the earth. This is 2nd Ezra chapter 5. And verse 24. And of all the lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit. This is a different pit, but it shows you that a land is a pit, and of all the flowers thereof one lily. So when we read about the bottomless pit, it's talking about Europe. Revelation 21, and I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. And again, there is no time where the spiritual demon Satan with red horns and a pitchfork was put in chains in the underworld place. You gotta understand that this is talking about Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, and the bottomless pit is talking about Europe. This is the time of the medieval times, from roughly 400 to 1400. where Esau fell out of power in the Roman Empire. He was in the caves bugging out, doing all types of heinous stuff and ungodly stuff, just real low. And then, and Jake was ruling, so-called Negroes. So Esau was in the bottomless pit. Verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit, and shut him up, and set a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till the 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and that he must be loosed a little season. And you need to skip to verse 7, because there are two different periods it talks about, two different times. So verse 7 is the continuation from verses 1, 2, and 3. Then you have verses 7, and just read, and when the 1,000 years are expired, Satan shall be loosed out of his prison. So that's Esau Edom, the so-called white man. It says loosed out of his prison. So then Esau started ascending into power. And that little horn would be established. This was at the time of the Renaissance period. So you have terms like the medieval times, the Renaissance period. Verse 8, and shall go out to deceive the nations which are in the four quarters of the earth, Gog and Magog, to gather them together to battle, the number of whom is as the sand of the sea. And so Esau, when he came out of the bottomless pit, he never fell out of power. He went and established his rulership in the north, in the daughter of Babylon. He put the Israelites in slavery. We were literally in slavery under these devils. We just read Esau as the devil. And he came over to this side, and he put us in slavery and put hell on us. And that hell has to return unto him, that slavery. Because in the scriptures, hell is also slavery. You can read Isaiah 14 and the parable of the Lazarus and the rich man. Talking about Jacob and Esau. So in Daniel 7, we see the fall. We see the Roman Empire, and we know that Rome fell after the 12 Roman Caesars. Then Jake took over. The Edomites were in the bottomless pit. They came out of the bottomless pit, and then they ascended. Then they came into power with this little horn. And then you had the three horns plucked up: the Spanish, the French, and the British. Now let me skip down to verse I'd already covered this in a recent lesson about the so-called Native Americans and northern tribes, and Esau coming over to this side. And now we're at the time, Revelation chapter 12, in verse, where do I start? Revelation 12, and in 12, therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath. This is talking about Esau, the so-called white man, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time. So there's going to be a time of martial law. And so the devil is come down into you having great wrath. This is the time that we're approaching. So the devil established his kingdom, and now his kingdom is almost at its end. Daniel chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time. And there's going to be martial law, which you can look that up. So America is going to see a time of trouble. America's falling. And it will be a time of trouble like never seen before, even to that same time. And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book. Now we go back to Revelation 12 in verse 7, and there was war in heaven. Actually I'll start at verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, and this woman is dealing with or the woman fled into the wilderness. That's Israel fleeing into Africa. The wilderness is Africa. The woman is Israel. This isn't talking about some white woman with crowns in the heavens fleeing into a jungle. This is talking about Israel fleeing into Africa from under the Roman Empire. Was she at the place prepared of the Most High? The place is America. That they should feed her there 1,260 days, which is 350 years, the same as the 3.5 days in Revelation 11. It speaks about the Egypt where we were taken in ships, slave ships. You can read Deuteronomy 28:68. And so there shows you from the fourth beast, it shows you from the fourth beast, from the dreadful and terrible, all the way to the little horn where Israel would be. So verse 6 is talking about Israel fleeing to Africa, then taken to America. And to make it simple. Verse 7, and there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels. The dragon and his angels is talking about Esau and his military might. When Yahushua and Michael and the angels return in the so-called UFOs and wipe this devil out. And so it's not talking about a dragon flying in the sky. It's talking about Esau. This is a physical thing. Revelation 17 and verse 14. These shall make war with the Lamb. The Lamb is Yahushua. So Esau is when Esau is going to try to make war with Yahushua. And it's not going to work. And the Lamb shall overcome them, for he is Lord of lords and King of kings, and they that are with him are called and chosen and faithful. And so Esau will be in power at the time of Yahweh's return, the Lamb's return, who will return with Michael and the angels, make war with Esau, the dragon, bring destruction and also deliverance, salvation to the elect of Israel from the hand of Esau. Then the kingdom of heaven will be established on the earth, the kingdom of Jacob. This is Isaiah chapter 63, verse 1. Who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? That's Yahweh, this that cometh from Edom. This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength, I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel, and thy garments like him that treadeth in the wine fat? So when Yahweh returns, he's coming to bring destruction to Esau, to the Edomites. And he's a so-called black man. He's not coming nicely. And when he returns, it's going to be the same time when the nuclear missiles are shot. This is Matthew 24 and 29. Immediately after the tribulation of those days, Jacob's trouble, during the same time that we read about, the devil shall come down with great wrath. It shall return to Yahweh when this devil is coming down with great wrath. The martial law, there will be famines as well. People will get a cancerous sore from taking the mark of the beast, which is the RFID microchip, which will be mandatory, buying and selling, which the elect can't take it, or you won't be saved, and the elect will be saved. And the moon shall not give her light, and the stars shall fall from heaven. That's the missiles. And the powers of the heavens shall be shaken. And then shall appear the sign of the Son of Man, and then shall all the tribes of the earth mourn. And they shall see the Son of Man, Yahweh, coming in the clouds of heaven with power and great glory. Also known as Shiloh. And so this is the clouds of the so-called UFOs. That's how Yahweh is returning. You can read Acts, the 1st chapter, verse 31. And he shall send his angels with a great sound of a trumpet, and they shall gather together his elect from the four winds. The elect will be beamed up of Israel, and from one end of heaven to the other. So nuclear missiles being shot off, the elect being beamed up in so-called UFO. War with Esau in his military. There's going to be World War III going on as well. And we read about the stars of heaven, the missiles. This is Revelation chapter 6. And this chapter speaks about famine and things like that. Esau as well. Could break this down too. I'm just going to hit the point, verse 13. Revelation chapter 6, verse 13. And the stars of heaven fell unto the earth. So the Apostle John saw lights coming down on the earth in stars of heaven. Those are the missiles. And the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs. The missiles as well, when she is shaken of a mighty wind, because they look like figs are blowing off the tree. Verse 14, and the heaven departed as a scroll, which is the fire mushroom cloud. which you should know what that means when it is rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. And this connects with Isaiah 34. So we read the stars of heaven in Matthew 24. Then Yahweh Shai returned. It's the missiles. And we read the stars of heaven here, the missiles. And the heavens departed as a scroll. Isaiah 34:4. And all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. The same thing. The mushroom cloud, which will fire and burn all these people up. And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Verse 5, for my sword shall be bathed in heaven, the sword is the missiles. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea. Idumea is another way of saying Edom. So there's going to be a great destruction by fire coming to these Edomites. All the fire that you read about, like the lake of fire, fire and brimstone, it's all talking about on the earth. This day of destruction, the nuclear missiles. The wicked are reserved to the day of destruction. That day of destruction is the nuclear missiles. And upon the people of my curse, the judgment. So there's no place in hell where Yahweh Shai is going to be there looking down at the people in hell on fire. No, it's on the earth. And so the stars of heaven the missiles are going to fall at the same time. Yahweh shall return, the Son of Man return with the clouds, delivers the elect. Then the heavens will depart as a scroll, the sword shall be bathed in heaven and come down upon Idumea. So if you believe in the return of Yahweh Shai, he's going to return as the heavens in the heavens shall depart as a scroll, and the Edomites will be judged. So the Edomites are the so-called white people who will be in power at the return of Yahweh Shai. You can't get around it. So Isaiah 34 and Isaiah 63 prove that Esau is in future the judgments. Let me try to find that in the Zondervan. See if I can find it. So you can't say Esau is done away with because these scriptures about Edom have not happened yet. You have Israelites that look like Edomites, and you have Edomites that look like Israelites because it's through the seed line of the Father. You read about the parable of the wheat and the tares for more understanding on that. But let's read Revelation 14. I can't find what I was looking for. Revelation 14 and 8 in there. Oh, just read verse 9. Actually, I'll start at verse 8. And there followed another angel saying, Babylon is fallen, America is Babylon, that great city, because she made all the nations to drink of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and is after the destruction. Verse 9, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast in his image, and receive his mark, which is the RFID chip, in his forehead or in his hand, So when you see this mark being implemented, mandatory, that's when you know the destruction of this place is very soon in our deliverance. Verse 10, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of the Most High. So if you take the chip, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone, which is talking about from the ICBM missiles. So Babylon will be completely burnt in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb Yahushua. So this is so when the missiles hit Babylon, if you took the chip, you're gonna be in that fire. And this is when it says in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, because that's when Yahushua returns. So he's gonna be up in the ships, and under him will be the destruction of Babylon. And so this isn't hell where people who, it says them that took the mark of the beast. And it speaks about Babylon being destroyed. We know it will be destroyed by fire. Revelation 17, the whore. Ye shall hate the whore, eat her flesh, and burn her with fire. The whore is Babylon. So the fire is going to destroy Babylon and all the people in Babylon who aren't of the elect. Verse 11, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whoever receiveth the mark of his name. Revelation 20 and 15. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. So if you're in America and you're not of the elect, you will be engulfed in that lake of fire. So we covered the history in the Bible of Edom with Rome, the fall, and Esau coming back into power, that the old serpent, the devil, the dragon, the fourth beast, the eagle with the 12 feathered wings, Yahweh's return to make war with Edomites, to destroy Edomites at the time of the destruction of Babylon, the time where the missiles hit, where the heavens departs a scroll, Idumea destruction. And it's a time where there will be a time of trouble like never seen before, martial law. So this is what we need to prepare for. You can't prepare physically. Not that you can't get a few things, but soon there will be martial law. The microchip will be made mandatory. Famines will happen on the earth in America, and many deaths. And so I'm going to finish off with the book of Second. Which I could have just used this precept, which proves that Esau is a so-called white man in itself. 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. But you get more context going into how Esau came into power. Esau is still in power. 2 Ezra chapter 6 verse 9. And then Yahushua returns and is the kingdom of Jacob. So 2 Ezra 6 and 9. For Esau is the end of the world. Esau Edom, the so-called white man, and Jacob is the beginning of it that followeth. So Esau is in power, then the kingdom will be translated to Jacob. So there will be a whole new dominion on the earth. And so we see Esau, devil shall come down with great wrath, because he knoweth he has but a short time. So Esau is about to come down with great wrath. And then we know Yahushua is going to return. Esau will be completely out of power. Nuclear missiles will hit, or destruction like never seen before. The elect will be delivered. then establish a righteous kingdom on the earth. And so, with that, I'll give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakudash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the Great Millstone of our well. Shalom to the elect.